Azerbaijan and Armenia had that ceasefire at 12. Roughly, do you have any clue how many minutes it took for Azerbaijan to violate the ceasefire?
So USA made Azerbaijan and Armenia have a ceasefire. USA, strong country. Azerbaijan broke the ceasefire in 3 minutes.
In 3, 2, 1. It's the Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 59.
Yes, correct.
Shant, how you feeling tonight, big guy?
Feeling good, man. It's going to be a very busy episode where there's a lot of shit happening in the world right now. A lot of current events. I like talking current events. And yeah, we're right before the election. Armenia, Azerbaijan still going at it. Just a lot of things.
Fueling the presidential debate in my eyes. A little bit of like a back and forth taking place between Trump and Biden in terms of who's going to get the Armenian vote. A couple days ago, I don't know, was it last week? We were talking about Biden's stupid ass statements regarding Armenians occupying Nagorno-Karabakh, and then he fired back again today at what Trump did the other day, which was basically to broker the latest ceasefire. Number 3, ceasefire.
What did Biden say about it? I didn't hear that.
Biden was pushing for the arms that the United States sells to Azerbaijan, that being completely stopped.
Oh, like the same arms that under his administration sold to the ISIS to take over Syria.
Right. He wants to now stop that, cut the funding that's behind that, and slow down this bloodbath.
Yeah, we don't mean to laugh about the situation, but yeah.
Right.
There we go. Yeah, so I want to also talk about today. I don't even know if anyone knows about this fucking app, QUIBI, but they are under, and they basically shut down within 6 months, and we'll talk about it because it's just a crazy story. But I want to hear, Ari, who do you think, right? Not who do you want? Who do you think? Because the presidential election is 1 week away, less than a week away, a couple days away. Who do you think is going to win the presidency? Which way our Armenians are going to vote, you think? Trump, Biden? Just give me your, what are you feeling? What do you think's going to happen?
I feel like Trump's going to get more votes this time than he did last time.
You think? Break that down. Why? Why do you think that is?
For so many people. So last time there wasn't as many snowflakes, right? But like the snowflakes that did exist in the United States, I guess, came out and started this snowflake movement, which completely repulsed people that weren't snowflakes in the United States. So they got fucking pissed off at the fact that like these fucking people are fucking way too brittle, and they just appreciated how, I guess, ballsy Trump was in calling them out, like, you fucking snowflakes.
Yeah.
News, and like everybody is. This is quiet activism, like being quietly Republican and just appreciating the fact that a leader still has his balls intact, especially a leader of the United States of America. I don't care who it is and what their track record is, but the leader of the United States has got to have some sort of just good old-fashioned, just a pair of nuts hanging from his body. I don't care what color you are, what background you're from. I don't give a flying fuck.
And what gender.
You just got to really just have your nuts, metaphorical nuts, in place. And that's what Trump is doing pretty much. But just coming back to the Armenian thing real quick, substantively, substantively, Trump has done nothing for Armenia up until a few days ago, which was to get involved in a brokering, if you will, of a ceasefire that is seemingly the same as the Russian ceasefire that got brokered.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, the United States brokered it for once. They actually got involved. It's usually Russia. So he tried. He quote unquote tried. Just saying, it's just a crazy back and forth of Biden for the Armenians and then Trump for the Armenians, and no one's doing much. But as far,
so what do you think are Armenians wise? How are Armenians leaning? What have you seen? Because obviously you see the posts, you see the comments. Like, what do you think more Armenians are leaning towards?
I think that Armenians got smarter as the years went on. They learned not to believe a fucking word of a politician's
And hey, breaking news, that should go for the whole entire country, by the way.
So I think because so many times it's been said, I'll recognize the genocide, Obama said it, and Biden flat out said it, that he's going to recognize the Armenian genocide. I think at this point it's a turnoff for Armenians.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you're full of shit.
But there's like a really good, there's a good possibility Biden might want to recognize, but he might forget. He is pretty old. He might just flat out forget he said that.
And Trump might use some fucking 5th grade English, like, yeah, the people who died back in 1915.
A lot of people died.
A whole boatload of people, and I'm sorry.
But we did great. We did great.
Those are the best few people that ever died. So yeah. As far as the election goes, I think that Americans are just really, really appreciative of just this old-fashioned sense of.
Do you think?
Patriotism.
I see a lot of hate. Like, this is the thing with, I've never seen a candidate where people love him so much, right? Because his base loves him. And the opposite hate him so. Like, there's like, they want him to die.
I've never been more scared of being supportive of our current president of the United States than I am right now. Like, I am worried about being too close to a Trump rally.
like driving by real quick, you just like, oh shit, like there's been Trump like car parades, like you actually like merge into it by mistake, not knowing, and then you're just like,
get a fucking rock hurled. This isn't cool. Like, it just isn't cool anymore. Like, bro, he's the president of the United States. You're telling me that we live in the most just patriotic, free speech, just that sort of place in the world where you can just be free to think and speak however you want. But if you support the president, you're a threat, like you're a target.
Yeah, I feel like we're in Lebanon 1988 or some shit right now. I can't say anything.
Pro Hezbollah. And
so speaking on that, and you know, I want to, because I've been listening to a lot of things back and forth. This side, they love Trump. This side, they hate Trump. And for me, you got to unpack. If you're going to go vote, everyone should vote. I think it's a great thing to vote. If you're going to vote, pack away. You hate the guy, you love the guy, or you're told to hate the guy from watching CNN. You're told to love the guy if you watch Fox. What matters is the policies. And I think not a lot of people look up the candidates' policies and look at what these people really stand behind. Not what you hear, what Trump said about locking people, like, not like, forget that stuff. The real policies, right? And I actually looked at all 3 candidates. We do have a 3rd candidate, Jo Jorgensen. She probably has actually.
Candidate.
Huh?
We have a 4th candidate.
Not on the West Coast, man.
how is that possible? This is like it's a country election.
I don't know, man. This whole ballot thing.
All right, number 3. Okay.
Yeah. So she probably has the best policies, but she's not going to win. So just look at the policies now. So you think Trump's going to win? You just from like not who you want, who you think's going to win. You said why. Tell me what happens if Trump wins. How are people going to react? Like, what's going to happen, right? Like, there's been a lot of protests, a lot of riots. What's going to happen when Trump wins? And by the way, everyone, on November 3rd, we're not going to know a winner. It's going to be delayed. I'm 90% sure that's what's going to happen. What do you think will happen if Trump wins?
So I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. When Trump takes the election in a week or two, there's going to be a massive divide in this country. A massive divide as in just a huge clash between the two parties. Number one, there's going to be major disagreements happening publicly where people are going to come out with these insane signs and slogans to rile up anybody that doesn't agree with them just a tiny bit so that they can get into a confrontation with one. It's just going to be massive hysteria.
Do you think riots will break out?
I think in some parts of the country it's possible.
Do you think, what happens if Biden wins?
Nothing. Literally just nothing. They just completely understand. No recount. Nothing. Just great. Same thing when Obama got elected. Great.
Nothing.
So there's just going to be mass hysteria.
And that's interesting because the left, the liberals, like the extreme liberals, left wing, they're usually the ones rioting.
Yeah.
They talk about the right and
the right is so lazy, they're not going to get off the fucking couch. What do you mean?
So it's just interesting. I agree. If Biden wins, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think for like a day, Trump's going to talk shit. And then like, all right, like.
Loser.
But yeah, I think if Trump wins now, I think I keep going back and forth, but I think Biden's going to win because I have never seen in Arizona so many Democratic stuff. And Arizona is usually a red state, Republican state. I've seen more Biden signs than I did not see this many Hillary signs. I did not see, and I have some polling. So there's polls going on out there, right? And I don't know how much you believe in polls because I've never been polled. No one's ever called me and said, "Hey, who are you voting for?" Right? Like, I don't know if you've gotten that phone call ever. So CNN, right? The most reliable news source out there, right? CNN has Biden up by 10%, 10 points, which is basically a lead you can't like come back from. Fox News has it closer, but Rasmussen is actually a really kind of like a independent. They're not left, they're not right. Polling thing. And right now, yesterday they had Biden up 46-45. Today, Trump is up 48-47. And what worries me is Biden is winning in Arizona. And why I say worries me, not worries me because I care if Trump wins or Biden wins. I care about the local level becoming more democratic here, taxes going up, because that's what usually happens in democratic states. Taxes go up. Things don't get fixed for some reason. That's what I'm worried about. But I think Biden's going to win, but I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be really, really close.
I don't feel it. I really don't feel it. And what worries me is that I've yet to hear Biden speak nearly 20% as much as Trump has.
Well, yeah, Trump is definitely he's definitely hustling out there right now. He's out there, man. He's doing 3-4 stops a day. He is moving, but I just think I don't think anyone is voting for Biden because they believe in him. I think they're voting because they hate Trump, right? And I've never seen, first of all, a president who has people love him so much. Like, that's fucking, have you ever seen that? Like, never.
You got these guys with fucking humongous flags. I feel like they're voting him on for fucking, like, some of these guys look like fucking Nazis, man. What the fuck? Like, flags? When did we ever do this for any president? These guys have flags hanging from pickup trucks.
He's got a brand. He's got like a like, it's a brand. He created a brand.
Yeah, bro. Like, you're political influencer now? Political influencer?
So you're saying this time next week, Trump's going to be reelected?
You know damn well he's gonna be the president.
Have you watched CNN?
No, I haven't watched CNN since fucking the coverage on the 100th anniversary of the genocide 5 years ago.
What, the 2 minutes?
Yeah, the massacres in 19. Anyway, so long story short, yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see Biden being the president. If you can't envision a president being president, he ain't gonna be president. That's just wishful thinking that he's gonna be president.
It's gonna be close, man. It's gonna be really close.
Okay.
I'm worried, man. I think
I'm not even a Trump supporter.
Huh?
I'm not even a Trump supporter. I don't like even talking about my real thoughts about Trump. I just find that we're lacking a decent pair of nuts in this country.
So you think Biden doesn't have that?
Fuck no. Biden would make a decent vice president again.
Not right now. He's too old right now. Before, I think he was he was sharp. He was, like, just there, right? Like, he was nice.
Vice president right now. President? Is he going to be a good president right now?
Where he lost me was when they asked him, well, a couple times, but policies. I look at policies, guys, okay? Look at policies. Look at what people stand behind. Look at their track record. That's what I did. But where personally he lost me was when they asked him, what would you have done different with your response to COVID? Great question, right? Like, what would you have done different? He said, I'd make everyone wear a mask. Okay. You'd make it mandatory lead, right? Because he always wears his mask to show that he follows the rules. And then the guy said, what if people don't listen? He said, well, you can't make everyone wear a mask. It's not going to, then I would go here. I would try this, it's just when I did the H1N1, the measles vaccine, you can't force it. It's like, what are you saying? Like, so you start off by bashing Trump so hard, but then you don't have a plan. He has no plan. You know why? Nobody has a fucking plan of COVID. The thing is, it's brand new.
It's something fucking none of us have ever seen before. A fucking lockdown of this nature. Anyway.
Yeah, we move on.
I want to come back to this podcast and say that everything you said was right. And I just can't.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be interesting. I think the people who are saying vote or die, I think are a little dramatic.
Yeah. Take it, Bill.
So let's talk about this, man. I want to jump into QUIBI, right? For anyone who's never heard of QUIBI, don't worry. Neither of us have heard of QUIBI like 48 hours ago.
So I was talking about, I brought up through text a little discussion about your focus and how when you lose focus, you lose productivity, and that's when burnout occurs. Something I've been thinking about, something that came to my mind is, listen, you could put me in a room with hundreds and hundreds of pounds of chicken and marination. I'll go. I'll do it all night. I won't even think about sleep. But then you try to get me to do something like folding laundry, and I have no focus. I quickly get tired and I want to pass out. So the task at hand, or the product that you stand behind, says a lot or dictates a lot about what your focus will be like, how long you'll be able to perform the task, or how long you'll be able to sell the product. If it sucks, or if it's of no interest to you, you're going to fail. Where Shant saw the relation was that QUIBI had all this, and I'm going to let you say it actually, Shant. You tell me a little bit about the background of QUIBI, what QUIBI is, and who stood behind QUIBI, and maybe after that we can talk about what the fuck happened.
Yeah. So I'm going to break down QUIBI, right? I have my notes here. So QUIBI, okay, QUIBI has two founders, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Check out his resume. He's a big-time film producer, did Shrek, Lion King, all this fun stuff. Yep. And then Meg White, who was one of the leading people in eBay, who made eBay what they are today. So two very accomplished people, okay? Start QUIBI. QUIBI is a phone application where it's a stream. Am I breaking up? Do you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. So it's a streaming device like Netflix, Hulu, all this, but it only works on your phone, and you only get 10-minute clips. So if you're watching a movie, they're in chapters and they're 10-minute clips, right? The cool thing about QUIBI, which I just found out, which I think is actually really cool, if you watch the movie like this, in this form, it plays the whole angle. But then if you turn it around like this, it plays a full angle of your phone, not cut off, just a full. I thought that was pretty cool. Good idea.
Like in story view.
Yeah, but the full, story view. So QUIBI, their original target audience was 18-year-olds to 34-year-olds. Makes sense, right? People are on their phone, right? So QUIBI started in April. Right now we are October. So in April, before April, they raised money. They raised $1.8 billion with a B dollars to get the app going, to advertise and all this stuff, right? So they started reaching out to celebrities and paying them $100,000 a minute to advertise. They had people like The Rock, Kevin Hart, Usher, LeBron James, huge names, right? Like everyone knows these people.
Yeah, A-list.
A-list, yeah, exactly. Their investors were people like Alibaba, Sony, Time Warner, Walt Disney. Again, heavy hitters in the industry. So they did an advertisement on Super Bowl Sunday. They spent $5.6 million for this ad. Okay, it's a lot of money. They got, I think they did some free stuff. They got 900,000 people sign up to the app. Okay, 900,000. It's well spent money. Problem was 70% of the people who saw this ad, and I watched the ad, thought it was a food delivery service app. You have to check out the ad. It's because you know what I did? I clicked in, what is QUIBI? And then the YouTube video came up, and I'm watching it. I'm like, the fuck is QUIBI? And no idea. So that's that. So give me 2 more seconds. The original 900,000 people who subscribed to the service, guess how many people resubscribe? Because that was the free service. Then you got to pay. what's like a good number? If you're Adi, if you're running an app, right, and you throw out the hook, right, the free hook to get people to join your app, how many people would you expect to like sign up and actually start paying for it? Now think about it.
Huh.
Before you answer that, you have LeBron James, you got The Rock, you got Kevin Hart, you got Usher, you got Alibaba, Walt Disney, Sony, all these people. What percentage do you think would want to sign up?
Put it this way, after seeing all of these people, I'd say probably like 40, 50%.
40, 50. Okay. So you would want a 40% return rate. 92% canceled.
That's
So only so 8% signed up to pay.
That's fucking terrible. Like, how
So
shitty could the product have actually been? I wish I saw it.
so that's what I want to ask you right now, Adi. So it started in April. It's October. They shut down. They canceled business. They're giving money back to investors. What do you think happened? Do you think it was a bad idea? Do you think it was bad timing? Because on their website, they said it could have been bad timing with COVID. Do you think they quit too early? Or was it something else? But threw a lot at you. It's kind of.
So I don't want to be too like, I don't want to try and define something or try to pinpoint exactly what it is until I were to know exactly what sorts of like episodes or what sort of content they were providing in 10 minutes. See, when I watch stuff on YouTube, I like to watch, or Netflix even, I don't mind watching like 25-minute shows, because sometimes I'll like spend like 3 or 4 minutes like not even paying attention sometimes until something snaps me back in.
Because you're what? You're on your phone.
Phone.
So this app, you're on, you have to.
Right. It makes you want to get out, check Insta, check other shit, and come back. So I think the idea behind it is that this TV thing only works on your TV unless it's YouTube and it's non-entertainment content. As in, it's not a TV show. It's nothing else. It's not a tutorial. It's a tutorial, or it's a quick video to like give you information. It's not entertainment content. So I think TV works very, very well on TV,
Yeah.
not on the thing that you scroll with your thumb endlessly.
And then when are you actually watching your phone, right? Like let's play practical. Like we're in a boardroom meeting and you're talking about, I want to start this app to watch stuff, entertainment on my phone. When do you watch entertainment? When you're going, when you're flying, right? Like you're in an airplane, you're flying. You're going to work, you're on the bus, you're on the subway, you have an hour commute. Mm-hmm. So usually when you're doing that, it's more than 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah, you're not pressed. I need 10 minutes of content right now.
And I think what they did it was like they'll break down a movie 10-minute clips, so you go chapter to chapter. Good idea?
No, man, it's a fucking terrible idea. And look at the ad for a second. Even if you didn't think it was a food delivery service, but you took it at face value. First of all, which douchebag stops work or stops doing something important to focus in on a video or a movie playing on their phone? Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, it's almost like somebody came to them and said, I've got $1 billion. I want to compete in the Netflix arena, do something with it, and they hired a 10-year-old to figure it out. Like, you got to be a dipshit. So,
Well, let's say it was a good idea. Do you think the timing messed it up as far as they literally came out during COVID?
yeah, because people have more time to be watching longer things, and they're at home where there's a TV accessible to them.
So you're thinking it could have been a bad time?
It's a very bad time.
I thought it'd be a good time because now people are, have nothing to do.
But they have nothing to do in front of their actual television.
That's a good point.
So if you have something to do, like you have a 10-minute Uber ride or you have a 20-minute subway ride or whatever, it might work because you're like, oh, holy shit, this one's kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like Key and Peele or something like that. Like, it just works. But if you're at home and you got like Money Heist on Netflix, you're competing in the wrong arena. So
that makes sense.
It's a, you know what I mean? It's a pretty accurate response to your app.
So QUIBI is $4.99 a month, $7.99 a month without ads. I just saw that. Okay. Can I kind of give you, because I saw a couple of people's feedback. I did a lot of YouTube research today on it, saw people's opinions, a lot of influencers' opinions. And I agreed with a couple of people's on what I thought where they kind of messed up. I didn't think that. I thought it was a perfect timing, but now that you mentioned that makes sense that it was bad timing. So where they messed up, I think, as well, from what I heard, their target audience was 18-year-olds to 34-year-olds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are 18 and 34-year-olds right now?
18 to 34-year-olds?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they're on Instagram.
Oh, where are they on the social?
Yeah. They're on TikTok, right? They're on YouTube, right? Instead of hiring LeBron James, The Rock for $100,000 a minute, why don't you hit up a TikTok influencer? Why don't you hit up a YouTube influencer? Get people that way. 18-year-olds are going to follow their YouTube influencers, right? Or Instagram influencers. That's a good way to go. I think they messed up there. They didn't spend a lot of money. They spend money on the Super Bowl ad. They spend money for the Oscars. What 18-year-olds fucking watching the Oscars?
It's absurd.
So I think they messed up with how they market it, right? You would think they would, Alibaba, Sony, all these people would come up with a better marketing campaign. So I think that's where they messed up. Also, I think they quit too soon.
Yeah, 6 months?
Bro, Netflix, remember when Netflix started? I just realized someone talked about it today. Netflix started, they used to send DVDs, you used to watch it, send it back, they sent you another DVD. DVDs, bro. This is Netflix.
Netflix was terrible.
Netflix was obsolete. But you know what happened? How they got big was they got original content. How long do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
Why'd you join Netflix?
I joined because I don't have anything else. I don't have TV.
But what drew you to Netflix?
Everybody uses Netflix.
But what were they telling you to like? Were they telling you to watch the show?
Right. So they have original content that was only on Netflix.
Which show? Do you remember if it was a show or?
I can't remember. I think it was a show, but I can't remember because there were so many recommendations coming out of Netflix.
So for me, when Netflix, I think it was House of Cards or Orange. I think Orange was the New Black was their first show, original content, and that really made a big hit. So it took Netflix all these years to get going.
True.
6 months. Give it some time, bro.
Especially you have $1 billion. Spread it out.
Fucking Patrick Bet-David made a good point. Instead of paying all these celebrities $100,000 a minute, hire influencers on TikTok, YouTube, all this stuff, give them pieces of equity of the company so they push it harder. Now you're not going broke spending all this money. So if the company goes under, you didn't spend any money. You didn't lose money.
Did you watch his thing on it? Is that what you're mentioning it?
Yeah. And I saw a couple other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's always so practical with his opinions.
Just very down the line. So talking about business, what do you think? How does this relate to like what we wanted to talk about today?
So I think it just ties in perfectly is that, listen, man, it's so interesting being known in the arena for something and having a bunch of friends and having a bunch of influence. As in, you guys, I've learned that you can come from a very, very supportive background, a very, very large social circle, a ton of friends, a ton of rich friends, or just a humongous circle that is eager to see you get going, right? You'll have this idea, shitty or not, bring it to the table, and people try to persuade you to do certain things differently, but no, you stick to it. You get going and you have all your friends support you, whether it be they're sharing, your business on their profile and they're doing what they can, posting up pictures, they're your first customer and whatnot. And, finally, people start trying you out based off of a recommendation and you suck. It's not going to take very, very long for you to flop exactly like QUIBI did, because there wasn't much thought being put into the actual product itself. Putting a lot of thought into how to advertise the product or how to promote the product is great, but only if the quality of the product is worthy enough of the people that are driving the business to the product.
Yeah. So I 100% agree, right? Because and in business, it doesn't matter. Knowing people will get you far, right? Like that matters, right? But if your product sucks, and I don't know, I wish we could have used QUIBI. Like I don't even know if it's still available. I'm going to check that out, but I want to try it out because if 900,000 people signed up, and so hang on, gotta do some quick math. 1 second, 900 and 828,000 of them deleted it. That's bad. Like that just tells you it just was not a good product. And like you said, you could have all the influence, all the people. Your best friend could be LeBron James. Your best friend could be The Rock. It doesn't matter, right? Because they'll get you people in the door. So if you have a restaurant, perfect example. You could have a restaurant. Your best friend is The Rock. You're on Guy Fieri's fucking show. They tweet, they come, people come, lines out the door. You'll get people through the door. But if your food is not good, they're not coming back. They may come back one more time. You could speak better to this, but how many times before they stop coming if your food's just not that good? You have the best service, you have great atmosphere, great everything, great marketing, but if your food isn't good, how many times do you think someone will come back?
No, man, you're right. They won't. Why should they? Why? Because somebody made a recommendation. Okay, we went once. We storied it.
Good.
So, I'm all about it. I'm all about getting the best of the best to market your product and promote it's so easy to promote. You don't even have to do shit. You don't even have to risk or gamble on the likes because stories get more attention now than posts do. There's no like counter. There's no view counter. There's no nothing. You can post a story and people will be so fucking thrilled. So, man, if your product fucking blows, bro, that's just a one-way ticket. Nobody's going to pull you out of that. I think same thing with QUIBI, bro. Listen, don't focus so much on spending all that money on marketing. Spend the money, pour the money back in if you can into the product. Don't just rely on people saying download it. And I think the real the what separates this conversation when we're talking about large ideas and small ideas, you got a bunch of people that are focusing so much on making a product work, but they're forcing it. They're forcing the product to work. Netflix was a trial and error thing. Like they tried one thing or a set of things, like a type of movies that they could offer. At one point, Netflix was doing movies I'd never even heard of, ever.
Well, what about another service that was trial and error? Amazon.
Oh yeah, big time. I remember
They just sold books.
Was competing with like buy.com and like random other companies.
Well, Amazon started with books only. So you said a good thing. I think so. What people misunderstand, I think, mess up where I think there are businesses where they come out with their product, boom, it's a big hit. They're straight, right? But I think that's a very small percentage of business success, right? You agree? Like it's not usually you come in, your product, boom, you blow up, you're good. It happens, but it's very small, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What you have to do, and you're doing this right now, I'm doing it right now, is adapt, right? And switch it up, right? But I think the people of QUIBI, what might have happened is they fell in love with their idea, right? You could fall in love with your idea. Let's say your dad fell in love with the catering idea and was like, I'm going to just fucking catering and that's it. Because he loved it. It's his idea. He's like, oh shit, I'm the first Middle Eastern catering company. It's going to blow up. But if you guys didn't adapt and switch things up, you'd be out of business right now, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think in every business, like if you fall in love with the idea and you just don't want to change it, it's a recipe for disaster. Most businesses, you're changing and adapting and fucking and pivoting. This happens, you're like, oh shit, I got to do this. Fucking, this happens, you got to do that. Like it's
100%.
Part of it, bro.
Let me tell you something. So my father's catering business back in 2008 or 2010, after the 08-09 economic recession, if he didn't adapt, I don't think that I would be involved in the food business right now.
No.
So my fate, my long-term outlook was decided by an adaptation, a response to a declining business. And I'm very much involved. I've got my hands in a bunch of different things right now to try and test out exactly where my focus does the best. And I'm still not 100% convinced that I should only concentrate on one thing. However, I do notice that I perform extremely well when I commit 100% of my attention to one thing. So that's another thing that I wanted to discuss on this week's episode, but I think we're running out of time. However, I will just touch up on something very, very quickly. I think to start a new company like QUIBI and to only give it just a pass-fail opportunity is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. To start a company, you've got to give yourself a little bit of leeway for adaptation, much like Amazon, much like, Netflix. Apple started off with a computer, but right now their most popular thing is, a phone.
Uber Eats, fucking.
You're right. Mutations and adaptations are what make any entrepreneur successful, because what they do is they may fail at their original idea, but cleverly roll out another idea that does very well, that completely shadows or disguises the fact that they had failed in another avenue. So I think to be able to focus on just making sure that you're doing whatever you can to exhaust all creative opportunities, I think that's what's important. That's why they say, don't, success is determined by how many times you fail and you try again.
Yeah.
Just
I know that cliche, but yeah.
So cliche, but so accurate. Do not be Jeff Katz. Do not start a company and only give it 6 months pass fail. Especially with how many billion?
$1.8 billion.
Unfucking believable.
Do you want to know what's going to happen?
Huh?
And I think they gave up too soon. I think they should have stuck it out, gotten people's feedback, adjusted their app, figured it out, right? What do you think is going to happen? Someone sitting there right now says they got 900,000 subscribers. It's a good idea. Why did they leave? Why did those 828,000 people leave? What did they want to see on the app? Someone's going to come out with a QUIBI type app and make it better and fucking blow it up. Mark my words, it's going to happen. Someone's going to see this as an opportunity and say, they gave up too soon. Let me go talk to the people who fucking gave up on the app. Why did they give up on it? What could we do to make it better? They're going to come up with a new app called FIBI or QUIBI. Fucking, huh?
QUIBI, huh?
Yeah. And it's going to stick because there is no app like that, streaming device on your phone, clips, like someone's going to make it. Mark my words. Give it 12 months, bro. 18 months.
I can imagine. I would have loved to have seen one example episode so I can understand exactly what the ADD fucking asshole sitting down or standing up looking at it is going through mentally. Is it like they can't keep track of what they're watching anymore? Is there no continuity? What exactly?
Well, think about it. When people are on social media, they're going through stories, right? Short clips. Right. Smart idea. Make a streaming device short clips. What if you make it shorter where you could just flip through like a story?
Right.
There you go. $1.8 billion idea right there.
Terrible, man. It's fucking terrible. Wow.
So
we got a live in-person episode soon, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful. 2 weeks.
Should we Instagram live, YouTube live it or something? I don't know.
Yeah, down. Whatever you want to do. I'll bring my wireless. I'll bring my small microphone that you can do it from your phone.
You gonna bring a camera and do a video out here?
Maybe. Depends. I haven't done a video in 2 weeks.
What?
2 weeks. I've been working on the website. If you go on the Ani Catering and Cafe website, you might actually order something from Arizona. That's how fucking good it looks.
Ani Catering.
It looks so good.
Ani. I should know how to. Okay, there we go. Belmont.
Oh, Belmont.
Let's see. Cafe takeout. Oh, shit.
That's just you. You're ordering from us tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Yeah.
Motherfucker with that. I really am.
Everybody, go to AniCateringandCafe.com. Okay.
Immediately.
Just do this. I don't care where you live. If you're not gonna order, that's fine. Click on Ani, ANI, Catering and Cafe.com It's going to pop up. It's going to give you two options, which I love it. Gives you two options. Click cafe and takeout. Thank me later.
So
Fuck. See?
Are you proud? Are you proud of your cousin for his abilities?
All right. All right. I think we'll end it right there, man.
So perfect. All right. Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.